Hello and welcome to Fairy Nerd Corner. My name is Brandon and this is my attempt to beat Pokemon Platinum version using only Cynthia's Pokemon. This is the third of my Masters 8 miniseries. Check out the rest of it in the playlist in the description. This time, we're heading into Sinnoh to try out Cynthia's team. She has a diverse and powerful team worthy of a champion, and I'm excited to see how this goes. Including her appearances in other games, she uses a total of 9 evolutionary lines that are available in Platinum. They're on the screen right now. I'm allowing all of them because they're accessible in Platinum. There are a couple from Black and White that I can't get, obviously, because they're not in this game, but these are all available and I'm excited for that. Anyway, the rules are simple. I can only use Pokemon that Cynthia uses in the games. I did randomize her starter to make one infamously difficult Pokemon easy to acquire. Otherwise, all her encounters will be legit. The other standard hardcore Nuzlocke rules apply. Any fainted Pokemon must be released immediately, no items in battle mode must be kept on set, and no overleveling past the next gym leader's ace. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Without further ado, let's jump into Sinnoh and help the Sinnoh Queen ascend to the throne. Finally, we have a reason to play as the girl character. We name ourselves Cynthia, meet our blonde, totally not brother named Barry, and embark on our Pokemon journey. However, we are stopped by a burly old man named Rowan. He berates us both for being reckless, even though I was clearly trying to talk Barry out of his crazy idea. Also, what are the kids in Twinleaf Town supposed to do anyway? Live forever in town, held captive by level 2 Starly and Bidoof? Anyway, we promise not to recklessly endanger ourselves again. And Rowan agrees to give us a Pokemon. I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to turn Turtwig into Spiritomb. All of Cynthia's other Pokemon are easily obtainable in Platinum. Well, relatively easily. Plus, I've never used Spiritomb before, and I want to see what they're all about. Barry immediately challenges us to a battle with his Chimchar. However, he just leers at us while Spiritomb attacks from the shadows, eventually knocking out the monkey. You know, maybe I'll do a Spiritomb solo run one of these days. That could be fun. Spiritomb and I travel to Sand Gym Town to meet with the professor. He remarks about us evolving Spiritomb, which is strange, then lets us nickname the little demon. I call her Kyojuro. He then gives us the Pokedex to fill up, but we're not going to mention it again. In Jubilife, we meet a guy who calls himself Looker, or Handsome in Japanese. What a Chad. We head north to Route 203 in search of our first real encounter, Budew. We catch him and name him Shinobu. Then, after some icebreakers and team bonding exercises, he evolves into Roselia. We leave Jubilife and run into Barry again. We have a quick battle, but it's not worth showing. He leaves, and we move on to Orberg City. This means that it's time for our first gym battle. Unfortunately for Rourke, we have Roselia. Geodude comes out first and falls immediately to Mega Drain. This boosts Shinobu to level 15. Onix is next, but he falls to a single hit as well. This leaves Rourke with just his Cranidos. Shinobu outspeeds him and takes him out with a single Mega Drain as well, earning us our first gym badge. Rourke also complains about losing to a trainer with no badges, but that's literally his job. As we head to our next destination, we run into some bowl cut weirdos in Jubilife City. So Rowan forces Lucas and me to fight them in his stead. Classic old men in Pokemon, always making children do their dirty work. Moving on, we reach the Valley Windworks, where Team Galactic has taken over for some reason. But before we kick them out, we have a Pokemon to catch. After some running in the grass, we find a Shellos and catch her. Welcome to the team, Muichiro. Time to take down Commander Mars. She leads with Zubat and I send out Shinobu. I hit her with Leech Seed and Stun Spore, then whittle her down with Mega Drain. Eventually, Shinobu comes out on top, causing Mars to send out Perugly. I switch for Kyojuro, who avoids Fake Out with her Ghost type. I then confuse Perugly, put her to sleep, and start hitting feint attacks. Perugly does wake up later and deal some light damage with Feint Attack, but Kyojuro comes out on top, defeating the commander. With that done, we head to Eterna City. There we meet our true rival, Fake Cynthia. She gives us the HM for cut and leaves. We shall see you again one of these days. In the meantime, let's take down Gardenia. She leads with the Turtwig and I choose Shinobu. I paralyze the turtle before whittling away his HP with Magical Leaf. My goal here is twofold: stall out Sunny Day and force Gardenia to use her Super Potion. After a few more rounds, Turtwig falls and is replaced by Cherim, who transforms due to the sun. Shinobu keeps at it, magically throwing leaves at the Cherry Blossom Pokemon. Once Safeguard ends, I swap for Kyojuro while Gardenia heals. Kyojuro puts Cherrim to sleep, eats her dreams, and swaps back to Shinobu to get rid of Leech Seed. Now I have to stall another Safeguard, so back to Kyojuro. A Shadow Sneak finishes Cherrim, bringing in Roserade. Once Safeguard ends, Kyojuro barely survives the Magical Leaf before putting Roserade to sleep and killing her in her dreams. And that's 2 badges. Next, there's some plot about Team Galactic setting up shop in a building in town. As usual, the responsible adult, Looker in this case, pawns off his work on the nearest 10-year-old. Cool. We fight Commander Jupiter and send her packing, though we lose Shinobu in the process. The bike shop owner is also here and he invites us to get a bike from him. Outside the bike shop, the fake queen herself stops us and gives us an egg, which will actually be our next encounter. We also get a 2-gear bike, which is a great change from the Mach and Acro bikes from Hoenn. We then meet Cyrus again on the way to Hearthome City. Nothing sus about this guy, am I right? Next, we have a couple of team upgrades. The egg hatches into Togepi, whom we nickname Sanemi. He has the ability Serene Grace, which is actually useful. We also get an EV from BB in Hearthome, whom we name Mitsuri. And Sanemi evolves into Togetic while fighting the gym trainers. The battle against Fantina starts with Duskull vs Kyojuro, who has been carrying us so far. Fan Attack is a quick KO, so Fantina sends in Miss Magius. And guess what I do? Did you guess put her to sleep and kill her in her dreams? If so, you're correct. Well, technically she does fall to a crit from Fan Attack, but let's ignore that for the sake of the joke. Anyway, her last Pokemon is Haunter. And guess what? It's another Freddy Krueger kill because she's weak to Dream Eater. Thanks for the badge, Fantina. You're usually a tricky one, but Spiritomb just walls you so hard. Next, we travel to Veilstone City. The only thing of note that happens is buying Moo Moo Milk at the Cafe Cabin. When we arrive, we find a middle-aged man who rescued a Porygon and gives them to us. We name them Obanai and add them to the team. I've never used a Porygon, so I'm excited to give Obanai a chance. And the team changes don't stop there. We backtrack to catch Gyome the Gibble. Then Muichiro and Gyome evolve into Gastrodon and Gabai while grinding for the gym. Now that we have a full team, let's take on Maylene. She leads with a Meta-type, and I obviously start with Kyojuro. 2 hits from Shadow Sneak take her out easily. Second is Machoke. And we all know how this goes. Hypnosis and Dream Eater. It knocks out the humanoid Pokemon and fully heals Kyojuro. Last is Lucario. I start by putting him to sleep before tagging in Muichiro. Unfortunately, she gets paralyzed before she can deal any damage. Then, Lucario scores a critical hit on Force Palm to kill her. Dang it, I love Gastrodon. I guess I shouldn't have abandoned the best strategy, so I send Kyojuro back in to finish this fight the only way she knows how. Now that we're down to just the B team, we head to Pastoria City. We have a bunch of trainers to fight, which is great because we have a bunch of Pokemon to grind. The extra experience lets us level up Obanai while holding the upgrade item. Thanks to the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, this lets them evolve into Porygon 2, the laziest Pokemon evolution name. Also, fun fact, it's the only Pokemon with a numeral in its name. Shortly after this, we run into a collector who has a Porygon. So Obanai gets to take down a lesser Pokemon. A lesser Pokemon. We also stop at the 7-star restaurant for a fancy dinner, because Cynthia is a queen and deserves to be treated as such. In Pastoria City, Barry wants to battle again, but it's a total sweep. Most of his Pokemon get Freddy Kruegered. Wake time. His first Pokemon is Gyarados, so I lead with Obanai. After flinching from Waterfall, Obanai murders Gyarados with a single Thunderbolt. But they've taken way too much damage to stay in against Floatzel, so I swap for Old Faithful, Kyojuro. She puts the otter to sleep and starts whittling away at her. However, a missed Hypnosis a few turns later spells doom. I have to let somebody fall to get a safe switch, so I leave Kyojuro in, and she dies. Thanks for all your hard work, girl. I send Obanai back in. They barely survive a crunch and electrocute Floatzel. This brings in Quagsire, so I use Recover to heal back to full health. After that, a critical hit from Psychic defeats Wake's final Pokemon, earning us the 5th badge. Now we have to be very careful. Our good team members are all dead, and if we lose any more, we won't have a full team for the league. There's some plot with Team Galactic following this, but it's only important because we get to meet the Fake Queen. We're coming for you, you imposter. The Fake Queen sends us to Celestic Town, where we have our first battle with Cyrus. It's not that eventful or noteworthy, so I'll just play it in the background and not talk about it. It's not too bad, but my Pokemon don't hit hard enough because they aren't fully evolved yet. I foresee our final match possibly being very difficult. We then head to Canalave City, location of the next gym. But first, we have a tense battle with our rival. Barry always leads with Staraptor, so I send out Sanami. My hope is to get an Omni boost from Ancient Power, which I get right away. Staraptor deals heavy damage before falling and bringing in Heracross. I stay in with Sanami and hit a boosted Flamethrower before swapping for Gyomei. Dragonclaw takes down the Beetle Pokemon and Barry sends out Infernape next. After dealing heavy damage with Brick Break, a Dig buries the Ape and brings out Floatzel. So I switch to Obonai, who is known for their ability to kill Floatzel. And they do exactly that with a single Thunderbolt. Now Barry is down to just Roserade. Obonai heals with Recover, but is also hit with Leech Seed. Fortunately, they managed to survive long enough to defeat Roserade with 2 hits from Psychic, including an unnecessary crit. How many major battles now have ended with a crit? 4? 5? Anyway, we are in desperate need of some serious strength. So let's head to Iron Island, shall we? We meet a mysterious man named Aaron who gives us the HM for strength. Not quite what I meant, but I'll take it. Delving into the caves on the island, we run into Aaron again. Aaron joins us as we fight and explore, which is a cool feature of the Sinnoh games. We need more temporary companions. Anyway, we find some Galactic grunts doing nothing, it seems? Aaron and I beat them up, and Aaron gives me a Pokemon egg. Before we challenge Byron, our team grows once again. I use a shiny stone from Iron Island to evolve Sanami into Togekiss. The egg also hatches into Tengen the Riolu, and after some icebreaker activities, Tengen evolves into Lucario. Let's challenge Byron now that the team is beefed up. Byron is rarely a challenge, and this time is no different. In fact, the newborn Tengen manages to take out his entire team with single hits from Aura Sphere. Byron never stood a chance. Good try, dude. Maybe one day you'll be a challenging gym leader. Now that we have 6 badges, some plot happens. Team Galactic has bombs, and I have several questions. 1, why are the authorities just letting people run around with such incredibly dangerous weapons? Can anybody carry one without getting in trouble? 2, why does this situation sound so familiar? And 3, why do I have to carry a Pokedex if Barry doesn't need one? Anyway, after trouncing some Galactic commanders, it's time to head north. And that means our final 2 encounters. First is Feebas. It's a bit tricky of a Pokemon, but we're skipping that in this video. If you want to see me hunt for Feebas, check out my Feebas Fishing Fest video. I catch one and name him Giyu. He evolves into Milotic after some Poffins. And speaking of evolutions, Mitsuri evolves into Glaceon on the road to Snowpoint City. With the new Pokemon in tow, we challenge Candace with Tengen. And he proves why he is the first Demon Slayer to defeat an upper rank. Aura Sphere takes down each of her Pokemon with a single hit. I do have to use Foresight to get around Frostlass's Ghost type, but she only uses Double Team twice before our Aura kills her. Get good, Candace. This is why the newborn Lucario is Ash's main in Journeys. Time for maximum plot. Jupiter and her Skuntank defeated Barry at Lake Acuity, so now we head to Veilstone to take on an entire evil syndicate. Honestly, this makes sense. Only the truest queen would lead her people into battle. In the headquarters, we crash the Republican National Convention. Cyrus and Team Galactic want to create a new world by destroying the current one. Seems legit. Totally not evil. Shortly after that, we get our penultimate evolution. We found a dubious disc in the HQ, so Obonai is able to evolve into Porygon Z, which has the second laziest evolution name and the laziest design by far. I mean, look at it. It's just an inverted Porygon 2. Time to fight Cyrus again. Sneasel falls easily to Aura Sphere, Honchkrow puts up a bit of a fight, but falls to Obonai's Thunderbolt, and Crobat can do nothing as Tengen crits him with Flash Cannon. Seriously, somebody rewatch this video and tell me in the comments how many major battles ended in a crit. For anybody who does that, I will do any challenge that you request. Farther into the hideout, we beat Saturn again and free the Lake Trio. Now, we have to climb a mountain. But first, we plan at dawn. And by plan, I mean grind everyone to around level 48, which means that Gyomei gets to evolve into Garchomp. Let's see how he fares against Cyrus. When we reach the summit, Mars and Jupiter try to double team us. I'm not worried, but Barry decides to interrupt and help. And by help, I mean take a few hits while Gyomei activates his Demon Slayer mark and murders everyone on the field. Cyrus then summons Dialga and Polthea, and this calls the Lake Trio into action and also inadvertently conjures Giratina. Giratina pulls Cyrus into the Distortion World. Then, the Imposter Queen shows up. We both delve into the Distortion World to save the Sinnoh region. She gets a bit of a head start, but we are the true Queen of Sinnoh. We will dethrone her. After navigating this maze, we both reach Cyrus. However, it is I, the true Queen of Sinnoh, who challenges him to battle. We just fought him, so let's cover this quickly. Guillaume defeats Houndoom with an Earthquake, Weavile falls to Aurasphere, Gyarados and Honchko are both electrocuted, and Crobat puts up a bit of a fight, but eventually falls to Gyu's Ice Beam. Defeated, Cyrus retreats into the Distortion World for some reason. We leave and continue our journey to Sunyshore City for our final badge. Speaking of, we're cutting right to that. Nothing of importance happens before the gym, so let's head right in. But it's another total slaughter. Guillaume knocks out each of Volkner's Pokemon with Earthquake. The only damage they deal is from a quick attack from Electivire. Dude, how are you the last gym leader? And why are you so excited about battling again after being totally decimated? This also gives me an idea. What if I did a Nuzlocke where I couldn't use any super effective moves? If you want to see something like that, comment down below. Jumping past Victory Road, let's fight our rival Barry one final time. This battle isn't that spectacular thanks to Cynthia's OP team composition. I do nearly lose Gyu to a critical hit Focus Blast from Infernape though, which is a massive amount of cheating. Otherwise, I just pivot to whatever team member counters Barry's team. It also didn't hurt that I was at the Elite Four's level cap. Good try, dude. See you in the next Platinum run. Until then, we've got the Pokemon League to conquer. First up is Aaron the Bugmaster. Yanmega is first, so I send in Obanai. And guess what they do? Electrocute the Dragonfly? You're correct. Heracross is second, so I send in Sanami. After weakening his own defenses with close combat, a single Air Slash brutally bisects the Beetle. Drapion comes out next, but he doesn't stand a chance against Guillaume. A single Earthquake buries the Scorpion and brings out Scizor. I consider switching, but opt to stay in and take it out with another Earthquake. Aaron's final Pokemon is Vespiquen, but 2 hits from Dragonclaw are enough to commit Regicide. 1 down, 4 to go. The second Elite Four is Bertha, but she's a Ground-type user, and I have a Milotic, so she doesn't stand much of a chance. I do take decent damage from Whiscash's Earth Power and Gliscor's Earthquake, but I recover that up and drown all of her Pokemon easily. Moving on. Unfortunately, the next member is even easier. I choose Guillaume to fight Flint's fired Pokemon. After buffing up with Swords Dance, I sweep his entire team with Earthquake before he can do any damage. Last in the Elite Four is Lucian, who is as challenging as Flint was. Once again, Guillaume buffs up with 2 Swords Dances, then sweeps his entire team without taking any damage. And here we are, the battle of the century. This battle will decide the Queen of Sinnoh. It's time to dethrone this imposter. Cynthia leads with her Spiritomb. How dare you? I will defeat you for Kyojuro. I send out Giyu and use Captivate to weaken their attacks. Then I recover, switch to Guillaume, and boost his attack with Swords Dance. Twice. Then comes the reckoning. Guillaume sweeps through Spiritomb with a critical hit Earthquake. Then Garchomp falls to Dragonclaw. Milotic is beat by another critical hit Earthquake. Togekiss falls to Dragonclaw as well, Lucario falls to a non-crit Earthquake, and then Roserade is beaten with 1 final Earthquake. And with that, I've swept the Elite Four, and I've reclaimed the throne as Queen of Sinnoh. We did it. With only 1 attempt and 3 deaths, this has been the most successful run of the Masters 8 so far. This challenge was probably the most fun of this series so far. I love Cynthia's team composition. She has comparable power to Lance, with some Pokemon lagging in the mid-game, kind of like Steven, but overall, her team is incredible. Her type diversity makes it trivial to defeat even the toughest of trainers. I am sad that Gastrodon and Roselia fell though. Gastrodon and Roserade are 2 of my favorite Sinnoh Pokemon. I also grew to love Spiritomb. That spooky little mon might be my new favorite Gen 4. And after her performance in my Tobias video, I think I'm a huge fan of the Hypnosis Dream Eater combo. It's so good. Maybe I'll do a Dream Eater only challenge one day, which now makes for 3 Nuzlocke video ideas in this single script. Anyway, That's it for this video. Cynthia is now Queen of Sinnoh, as she should be. She is also currently winning the Masters 8, but I won't spoil the results of Lance or Steven's run. If you haven't seen them, the playlist is in the description. Thanks so much for watching and supporting my channel. If you've made it this far, why don't you tap the like button for me? Leave a comment down below and tell me your favorite of Cynthia's Pokemon that I used. Mine is probably Spiritomb. Remember to come back for the next video. Until then, be kind and make good decisions. Later, nerds.